Good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm John Lewis, and I'd like to welcome you all here. To start off, I'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people, who are the traditional custodians of this land. I'd also like to pay respect to the elders, both past and present, of the Kulin Nation, and extend that respect to other Indigenous Australians present. Okay, what a fantastic turnout. What a fantastic list of talks we've got lined up. I thank you all for coming. I thank you for the contributors and all the support that's been given, and I think we're in for a great week. And with that, one of the big changes from last time is the fact that we're fortunate to be co-hosting the first GloFouling R&D Forum. We had John down here last time, and I think he must have liked the venue or the view or something like that, but he came up with the idea of having a joint meeting. So I'm very pleased to have John involved, and of course all the GloFouling delegates that have come from various parts of the world to join us for this week. And I hope you learned something. I hope you all participate in discussion. This isn't just a matter of sitting listening to talks. This is about being involved and putting forward ideas on how best we can go into the future in managing biofouling and looking at the actual risks, consequences, impacts, and how to best manage those. So with that, I'd just like to hand across to John to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Well, first of all, as well, from the side of IMO and GloFouling, welcome as well to Melbourne. Thank you to John and all the ANZPAC team as well for when we made the suggestion for considering integrating our program into your own program. I think it's a great opportunity for us. Keep it very brief. It's just I wanted to welcome, especially the people that have come from far away. I wanted to highlight that we have representatives from national maritime administrations and ministries of environment or ministries of transport from developing countries. We have a few representatives from regional environmental organizations linked to the United Nations Large Marine Ecosystems Network. We have as well people from the World Ocean Council, as well from the Oceanographic Commission from UNESCO as well. We have them here. So there's a lot of people that have come here with similar challenges, maybe some different, but as well with a wealth of experience as well. They've got, you'll notice it, we have a very rich program, a fantastic program of speakers. We have integrated a few of the speakers from these countries. But I think that the great thing, what's missing in the program is really these opportunities to speak, to meet people, to speak outside in the coffee breaks. And that's what I do encourage you to do that. That's what I want you to take away from these 4 days as well, is try and make those connections and share thoughts, share knowledge. I think that's it, from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Now, I'd like to invite Theofanis Karayannis from the INO to come and give an opening address. Theo is the head of marine biosafety at the IMO, so very much oversight of this area that we're talking about all this week. And we're very pleased to have Theo here. So, Theo, welcome.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everybody. Deputy Secretary O'Connell, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a great pleasure for me and a privilege to address you here in Melbourne. On behalf of the Secretary General of the IMO, Mr. Kitak Lim, I wish to convey IMO's best wishes for a successful event and commend IMarEST and the Australian Government, the Department of Agriculture, for their assistance with hosting and organizing this prestigious forum and workshop. Excuse me. I would like to express my special thanks to you, Secretary, for taking the time from your busy schedule to join us here today. I would also like to thank Mr. John Lewis and IMarEST for accommodating the first forum and for their enthusiasm in sharing the program with the ANZPAC workshop, as John just said. As most of you are aware, this is the first R&D forum and exhibition on biofouling management organized by the GloFouling partnerships. The aim is to bring together scientific experts and academia with the maritime industry and leaders in technology development for biofouling management. As such, we hope that the forum will be instrumental in promoting information exchange and fostering dialogue between key stakeholders, which are vital facilitators for the harmonized interpretation of IMO's biofouling guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, ships and other mobile structures in the ocean and our coastlines play an important role in our economic and our standards of living. However, as we all know very well, these structures may also pose serious ecological, economic, and human health threats due to the non-indigenous species that may be transferred from one marine ecosystem to another. The harmful impacts of established invasive species can often be irreversible. But the continued loss of biodiversity is not a simple environmental and economic issue. It risks undermining the achievement of most of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Biodiversity is central to development through food, water, and energy security. The loss of biodiversity can be a security issue insofar as loss of natural resources, especially in developing countries, can potentially lead to conflict. It is also an ethical issue because loss of biodiversity hurts the poorest people, further exacerbating an already inequitable world. And it is also, last but not least, a moral issue because we have a responsibility to conserve the living planet, including for our own future generations. The challenge is to transform our practices, many of which are unsustainable today, into ones that continue to facilitate the economic progress we need while conserving biodiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary, Australia, with one of the longest coastlines in the world, bordering many different seas and climates, has not been spared from the impacts of invasive species. A series of high-profile marine pest detections in Australia in the 1980s and the 1990s, including the Northern Pacific sea star, the Japanese seaweed, and the black striped mussel, urged the creation of a national task force at the turn of the century to address the issue. And since then, Australia has always been at the forefront and played a catalyzing role in biofouling management research and initiatives, and was the first country to report to the IMO back in 2006 the harmful effects of unwanted species in ships biofouling. It is therefore only logical that this R&D Forum, which, as I said, is the first one under the GloFouling Partnership Project, is taking place here in Melbourne. And it is also very timely because it comes at a time when the biofouling guidelines of IMO are going to be reviewed, and that's starting from early 2020 in IMO's Subcommittee on Pollution Prevention and Response. IMO has done its part in supporting this process with committed work to facilitate the effective and globally uniform implementation of the biofouling guidelines. During the forum, we will take the opportunity to hear about the latest developments derived from the launch of GloFouling, which is the latest initiative from IMO together with the Global Environment Facility and the United Nations Development Programme, working on to sustain the momentum that was achieved from the Globalast project in tackling issues related to invasive species or non-indigenous species. The project was launched last year and is already making inwards. It is already implementing activities around the world. We'll hear a lot more about that. And it's also a great pleasure to see that we have representatives here, as John said before, from the countries that are participating in the project as well. We at IMO can be proud to state that in the context of this project, 12 developing countries representing 7 different marine regions around the world have taken the step forward to address biofouling through the development and implementation of national policies. We are also appreciative of the wide range of support and the expectations that have been placed on this program of work including from different parts of the industry, to address one of the most serious threats to the world's oceans. We hope that this R&D Forum will be the flagship global event of this project, and I'm particularly encouraged to see it following the example of similar forums organized by the previous project GloBallast that I mentioned before. This brings me to the principal message I wish to convey to this forum. The significance of all this work must be understood in the wider context of growing concerns about ocean health and marine biodiversity, in which context the issue of good governance of the world's seas and oceans is being pursued actively at the United Nations level. From IMO's wider perspective, international shipping will continue to play a pivotal role in supporting world trade and helping to build and expand the maritime economic potential of developing countries. That is a blue economy based on the huge development opportunities offered by the seas and oceans, thus enabling the least developed countries to realize their potential for growth and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to conclude by saying that the multifaceted and complex nature of biofouling management has not deterred us from consistently working together to seek the most efficient as well as comprehensive solutions through what is a truly global partnership, integrating biological requirements of diverse marine ecosystems, innovative engineering solutions, economic parameters of a modern shipping industry, and civil society's demands for stringent regulation to protect the marine environment. A forum such as this provides an excellent platform to push the boundaries of human ingenuity in a collaborative spirit. I know that all of you are committed to making your own distinct contribution through knowledgeable debate and open information exchange in the coming days. I can assure you that IMO, on its part, remains fully committed to the task in hand and to bring its bit for a sound global system of shared responsibilities for good ocean governance. Thank you very much.